Hi everyone. Welcome back to Turning Point by Verifide. Today we have someone whose journey has been super inspiring. Ketan Patel. He has built his career working with some of the top companies in the world across India and now in France. What's interesting is that he did not land there overnight. It's been about learning the right set of skills, taking the calculated risk, and navigating a fast changing industry. And today we're going to talk about all of it, the skills you need, how to choose your niche, and what it's really like to work in abroad. So let's jump in.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
So, honestly speaking, I am from a very small town. I'd say not even in Surat, the city, like it's outside the city. So, since beginning of my childhood, I was over kind of an overambitious child, like born and brought up in that way because of the certain reasons that like our society might be going through at that time.
Mhm.
And also after finishing my studies in a school, fortunately I was in like an English medium school. So after passing through the studies, I mean, looking back at our society, we didn't have much of choices because it's honestly speaking, it wasn't my decision to be pursuing the career in tech. So it's just like our patrons or the people who are like guardians, they decided. And so I was kind of like blindfolded when I put my faith in this domain. But eventually, you try to figure it out by yourself, and that's what I did. So I did my bachelor's in like Gujarat Technological University, which is one of the most common universities in state of Gujarat. And afterwards, there like around in like 2014 to 2018, there was like a huge wave of the young generation of India going abroad to the US, to Canada, to UK, New Zealand, all these Commonwealth countries, who speaks English and stuff. People used to go to different countries as well, but it was kind of rare in at least in the state of Gujarat.
Right.
So like it was like a pre-mindset of every student who is entering, especially in technology.
You got any guidance from your professors or from any other from your university or your college that you should focus in this particular segment or you should focus in here rather than just going for a master's in here in India? Was there any guidance behind this idea?
So I mean, no, I mean, what I know is like nobody is gonna give you guidance like if you don't ask for it, first of all. Me personally, I've been to every professor that I admired at that point of time,
Mhm.
and I asked like, what should I do when I had this list of universities.
Mhm.
When I brought down to five universities, I went to each of them. I gave the details about the courses, like according to them, what was interesting. So our professor have not been in this abroad environment, and they haven't been abroad. So for them also, I mean, it's difficult, but it's still at that point of time they know more than us. That's what I thought. And the thing is, one of my professor, she knew that it's because he was teaching us Python, and in my final year, and
Mhm.
she told me that like AI is going to be something in future. At that time, it was not that we were learning like basic machine learning stuff and doing like data cleaning, data visualization, and stuff, but it was not at the advanced level that we see today. So there were two recommendations, either to go for a very specialization course, like if I knew like I like cybersecurity, go for it.
Mhm.
But when you are not sure, like one of the aspects of master that I have in my mind is still it gives you 2 more years to know yourself and to know what you're going to work in and
Mhm.
to find like what is exactly for you. So I took like one of the general master. So we have a specialization course, and there are like general computer science masters. So
Mhm.
basically, when I studied my master, we had everything from data analysis to software development to AI to machine learning, everything. Now I have a better idea and in-depth knowledge of what I'm studying or what might my work would be in future. We studied cybersecurity, we studied AI, we studied everything. And when you have more time and when you study in that, you exactly know what you are made for or what would be something that will be will be motivating you for a long time to be in that domain and to work for it, or you might have enough motivation to do it,
Mhm.
because so many people did even change careers. And for that, you exactly need to know like why is it for you, but it is also very important to know why is it not for you.
Mhm. No, no, I understand. So, Ketan, if as I said that many students actually dream of working abroad one day.
Hmm.
Maybe just it's the excitement of travel, better career opportunity, or just like experiencing different culture. You have actually done it, like
Yeah.
moving from India to Paris and building your career there. So
Hmm.
I'm curious, you know, if there is a student who would like to walk on a similar path of yours, what will you suggest them? How they can prepare themselves today so they can reach there in next 2 to 3 years or 4 years of time.
Like for anything, not for this particular question, but for anything, my first response always is go for it. It's like decide, like be concrete. You should not have this in my mind like, oh, I want to try, it will be hard, it will be easy, I should do it, I should not.
Mhm.
My thing is decide it for yourself. No matter what, eventually everything falls in place.
You mentioned that when you were trying for Germany, so there was a one mandatory thing that you should have a expertise in B1 Germany, right? So if
Yeah.
any student who's preparing for any country like France, Germany, or any other country. So, would you advise them to learn the language before, while they're searching or while they're exploring the opportunity, or once they decide that this is a country they want to go? So, while they're applying in the university or in a job, they should learn the language side by side to fulfill that mandatory condition that they have.
So I can go up to this extent saying that uh, if you can't learn the language, one shouldn't be here. It's so important because it's culturally cultivated over the period of time, that how much value is given to the language here. And the thing is, my only advice is like you go to whichever country, you need to know
Mhm.
the
Language,
you're
right?
good. You know English. You cannot survive with Hindi or Tamil or Gujarati or anything.
Correct. Is there
Whichever.
any technical skills also you would suggest technical certification? Like I meet a lot of students these days, okay, and they tell me that we are doing everything, but nothing seems to be like working out. I have seen kids, they are studying, getting certifications, applying for jobs, but sometimes the things are not working out the way it should. So, and of course, the tech industry is massively changing, every day. So it's very hard for students to, keep learning everything or to keep up their best. What they're learning in the second year of their graduation may not be that much
Then
valid
for next.
or not be much, not, very important when they actually step out from their graduation or skill they are learning. So there's so many things. And of course, when they are also planning with it that they want to do a master's or to go to different countries, how they should cope up with everything changing in such a fast way.
So it's a very interesting answer. So I will divide this into two parts.
Okay.
First of all, having technical skills, having certifications, learnings, masters, degrees, that is the first part or the primary part of your question.
Well, what about the business skills?
So for the business skills, I guess communication is number one. And I don't mean like raw communication that you just keep on speaking and you're very good at speaking, but understanding what you are speaking,
Yes.
and the thing is understanding what you are listening. Basically, it's I might not say it's like a problem solving skill, but at least the problem understanding skill.
Yes.
So if as a product owner or a manager or even as a developer or even a backend or anything, you need to understand a problem or you need to understand the requirement to do the further tasks.
Right. Also, I think it's very important for anyone. So,
Anyone,
knowledge is the one thing that you know something, but
something.
you are able to explain what you understand. It's again a very important
But
skill. A lot of people know everything, but they are not able to explain, so they end up doing, sitting at the back stage.
In my experience, like I can give you an example that we have, when you create user stories, most of the
Mhm.
IT people, students, they might know what is a user story. So when you create a user story, and when there is like a business owner or a product owner or even client, when they make user stories, if required,
Mhm. Mhm.
language you understand and the language that they input the user story can be very different, because your understanding and my understanding can be very different. And what you write in the user story and when it is assigned to me, I might have a very different understanding, and then you might do a different stuff than what they have done. So, first part, like another thing that is important for business skill is the approachability and the drive to approach someone.
Mhm.
If you don't understand us, nobody's going to judge you like, oh, it's so silly that it's so clearly written and he can't understand. Let
Right.
it be. But the thing is, if you ask, the work is done, and that is important for the business, for the corporate. Like what you will be in the scrum master's eyes is not something that is important for the business. That is
Correct.
not important for the corporate world. You know what I mean? So for me, the approachability and the understanding of problem, not necessarily, I can understand if you understand the problem and you don't know how to solve it, it comes with one of the most senior person as well. Because if there is something new, he might not able to be able to find the solution as quickly as he might for other things, because
Right.
it's something he will study by himself. Today we have all these AI tools. You can find there is a whole internet for us to find the solution, but you will be able to find it if you understand what exactly the problem is.
Correct.
That's rated, yeah.
No, no, you're absolutely correct. All these skills are extremely important, and students, I believe, should learn from the very first day when they are even planning to either going for a higher education or either going for a job.
Yeah,
Technical
and that's
skills,
the thing.
communication skills, soft skills are very important. How you talk to people, are they able to understand or not? Are you approachable enough that people will come and talk to you about certain things? These things make you a, people's person, So all
And,
these things are extremely important, right?
and coming back to your previous question about, like, you told what they should do, like for 12,
Mhm.
is that these things that I talked about, like this technology and business, all the 3 or 6 things that I told, I mean, they need to have this mindsets from now.
Correct.
Yeah, that I like in class, always there is a teacher who is explaining, professor who is explaining and asking, is there any question at the end? You will rarely see, like, in especially in India, what is it? You always have to be
They
this.
avoid to raise a hand, rather they will keep the doubts themselves, to themselves, but they will not raise a hand. That's
I
very
mean, and
right.
out of how this few individuals from this talent could reach us, that is the most important thing.
Mhm.
So I had an occasion, if you see like big companies in the US. So basically, like networking, communication, LinkedIn, or all this, like, so for every country as well, what I saw here is like for every country there are different websites that people prefer. We have a very interesting website here called Welcome to the Jungle in France.
Okay.
That might not be the same in India, but that we will have some different website or different something that you could reach out, you could go. I mean, you have to go out. For example, if you are searching for a job, for example, somebody has been to Canada, now he's looking for a job. Like you said, he has all the certifications, all the degrees needed. If he's not able to find out something, I mean, for me, it's like just go do whatever you can. Like it's equalized. So the thing is, they need to have this drive to keep on going until they have that chance or they have that opportunity. First of all, like AI, the
Yeah.
only reason that I say is because it just makes your work quicker. Now like nobody wants to wait, The
Correct.
things that the things that we could do in like 3 hours, now it takes 5 minutes. So
Right.
even today, if you take 3 hours, you can be replaced.
Right.
So first is AI. Second is any traditional programming language. Take any C sharp, Java, Python, take any one language,
Mm-hmm.
and if you know by heart all the concepts, all the theories, all the logics, all the syntax about it, because what I believe is if you know one language
Mm-hmm.
completely, in future, even if they bring any other new language, or if there is any other language to learn, or if you want to change domains or anything, it will always be helpful, and you won't need to do the same process again. For example, I work in JavaScript. I have never worked in Python in my career path. But tomorrow, if my company asks me to change a job and work in Python, I don't think so it would be a big issue. It might be like few hours or few days just to get on with the syntax and stuff. But I know, like, it becomes like a muscle memory, the coding skills and everything, because I know about this codeless things and everything, but eventually the codeless things are built with code. So
Right. Correct.
yeah.
AI,
And
second is any core language.
code language, and third is like, it's not more technical, but it's bit technical, bit functional, is learning about like a software development life cycle.
Okay, so Ketan, as we are sitting in 2025 and we're already, there is nothing without AI. As you clearly said that, there's nothing without AI. Uh, so, as you have seen, the industry has been changed a lot over the last 5, 10 years. Earlier, we didn't know anything about AI, and now AI is everywhere. It's AI, it's everywhere in headlines, in tools we use every day. And now companies are using these tools to make their decisions, make their strategies, So, but there is a lot of noise around it too. So I'm curious to know, from someone you are already in the tech industry from so deeper, what is
Mhm.
the real impact? How was your work before AI started becoming a daily tool, and how it has changed now?
Before it was more difficult, of course.
Okay.
No, it was not more difficult, but I can say it was more time consuming. It
Mhm.
has made everything quicker. It has made everything efficient. So, like, basically, I'm talking about the important part. So it's very important because, you know it's about like, everybody is in a race in this world. All
Right.
the tech companies, every individual, everybody is in a competitiveness nature with something or other. So actually, to be a part, like to be a participant in that hurdle, at least you need to be part of what is going on. So
Right.
basically, you cannot avoid it.
Are there any particular tools that making your life a little easy on a personal front or in a professional front?
So of course, ChatGPT, because and also, like, on the company level as well, like, we cannot enter our secure or private data in ChatGPT, but now every company, like my company, has integrated with a personal ChatGPT AI model. So
Okay.
we have our own ChatGPT that is given by ChatGPT, and we can put our level 3 information in it up to, I guess, and we can use it, and we have this premium version provided by the company. So now every company has started doing that to make their employees efficient, so
Mhm.
that they don't put even unknowingly their secure data, because security is still, and especially in like EU, in Europe, we have very strict laws,
Right.
and we have to comply. Like, the compliance is like, it's
GDPR.
yes, GDPR, yeah. So for all this operational, repetitive, day-to-day task, I guess it's very important, and it has become very effective.
So, like the task you used to, if you're working on a task earlier and it used to take like maybe a day to finish you the task. Now, with the implementation of AI, how much time will you be able to reduce?
So it depends on the task, but if it is automated, and it's
Yeah.
a well coded and automated, it might take like 5 minutes.
Oh,
So I'm not talking about the day of task, like that the task of a day, but for example, I'm talking about uh 3 hour task or 2 hour task that can be reduced to like 5 minutes.
right, right.
Be- The thing is, it's automated, and it depends on the data. So, for example, if I need to send email to 15,000 people, and
Mm-hmm.
if I have automated it to send it to it, so it depends on what is the amount of people or amount of user it's to be sent, and how is your processing, how is your architecture. It depends on a lot of things, but I can say that it does not take as much time as it would take earlier. And when you say about like a task which may take a day, so how I can tell you that it takes 5 minutes is, for example, I have an example that I need to code. I have a logic that I need to have a button on this website. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it should be purple color with this type of font in a rectangular shape on the
Mm-hmm.
top right of my website. So
Mm-hmm.
the first the thing is, as a developer, you would search for the syntax, or if you know, you would write it by yourself. You will find the color code, like you cannot remember the color code, everything. And if you have error or if there is something on other development going on and it is conflicting with it, and you have a part of code that is not working. So basically, you might take as according to the skill of developer, you might take from 15 minutes to 30 minutes or up to 1 hour. But if you have an issue, then you will debug like, okay, what is the issue? It might take another 1 hour. And if there is an issue and you need to move forward for taking permissions and stuff, it might take another 30 minutes because with
Right.
the culture work from home, not everybody is available at every time. So it might take like half a day. But the thing is, when you code or when you give this requirement to AI within seconds, it will give you almost the exact code that you need. Now you have to just debug and change the code which is which complies with your software or your website or whatever you are doing in. So the work that about finding the syntax, the color codes, like for example, if somebody is new to CSS, like how to put a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
First, what like as a developer, what we should do is like we might see a YouTube video or we go on like websites or to check like Stack Overflow or something to find okay what is the code for it.
Mm-hmm.
Today nobody's looking for the code and you don't know which one is right because there are so many codes. Now
Right.
when you put it in this AI tools, it's more than 90% accurate that you will have the perfect syntax with a perfect color code and everything that you need. So
Correct.
I say that it reduces the time of task from a day to 5 minutes, but the whole process of the work is being reduced to this small amount of time. And that's where AI is very effective.
That's great. Of course, AI is emerging like anything and it's impacting everybody's life, personal and professional. What do you see how it's going to change or evolve in next 5 years or 3 to 5 years? And how should students prepare themselves for it? As we have already discussed, that they should do everything from the start, from now itself. They should learn basic tools and everything. But again, how they can keep up the pace of the fast industry trends, and
Uh,
where you see this 3 to 5 years gonna take. Because what is the AI right now? What are we doing in our work, like you or me? It's going to change next 3 to 5 years for sure. So, as an expert, what do you think how that shift is going to be?
so, I mean, like I told you, most of the daily repetitive calculative tasks which were a burden
Mhm.
for an employee,
Mhm.
most of them are going to be automated. They are going to be automated by AI or different technologies or anything.
Mhm.
What I don't see in next 5 years or next 4 years is so you can implement or you can automate a task uh, that is, for sure, that this is going to be the case, that you are certain about certain things.
Mhm.
Even there are possibilities, but you are certain that there are million possibilities. Then you can automate it.
Correct.
That
What skills do you think AI cannot replace in the next 5 years?
that's what half of it I have already answered, but that is what it is like all the so I can tell you that, for example, uh, being in a company, what I see today is like if I try to brainstorm right now or imagine myself how the company is working, there are so many things that today I feel even in my company, which is a huge company, it cannot be replaced by AI because the the infrastructure or architecture or the requirement for the client, it keeps on changing.
Right.
So for example, today, like I told you, they want a button here, for example. With AI, tomorrow you can say that, okay, now I want it to change it to red. Okay, that can be done, that can be automated, but there should be someone to decide that. There should be someone to give that command. That cannot be like automatically, like AI cannot think that today this is a blue color and I need green. Because at the end of the day, when there are humans, they need change.
What is a cultural shift? Uh, you know, what would you suggest? Or, I'm sure my viewers are definitely eager to know that which place have a better options for career opportunities to grow. But what is your mindset or your experience working here in India with the Indians and in the Paradise?
So uh, there is a huge difference, to be honest. It's not small, and opportunities are everywhere. I still don't understand when people say that there are no jobs. Okay, there are no job for oneself, it's a different thing, but there are no jobs in a market is a whole different thing. There are a
Mhm.
lot of market in India, there are a lot of jobs in market in France. That is the first thing about market, so it's everywhere. In IT, I'm talking about my domain. Secondly, the working culture is very different. In India, uh, like when there is this hierarchical form of working, that you are a team, then you have a manager, then you have a manager's manager, then you have a CFO or whatever. It's very formal, like the respect is been asked, I can say, like a kind of unknowingly, it's like there is a different kind of respect, like a son to a father, like here it's more friendly. I mean, even if there is my manager or my manager, I can communicate him in the same way as my colleague. Not necessarily I need to change my tone or change my way of talking to him.
Okay. The hierarchy is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's more friendly. Like, I mean, I can know that my N+2, like the level 2 is sitting beside me, and I can talk him the same way, or I can talk about anything that I'm working on. But in India, it would be like if it's your manager, you'll be like more that's my experience.
Yes, no, you're absolutely correct. The difference is definitely there.
Difference is there.
People, the hierarchies, the way you talk.
And this hierarchy changes the whole environment of the office. And
Mhm.
secondly, the here I might not say that it's more chilled out, because here also in France, the whatever the cliches that you see all over the world, that they work less or something, might exist at certain places, but I can tell you, like my teammates, we work sometimes until 7 at night. So it does, but the only thing is here they work because they like it. They want to do something that they like it. So for example, in India, there might be someone who is working as a software engineer just because he has a family to feed, and he wants to do totally something else in life, but it's well paid. It's a good career path in the eyes of society for the family. He won't change. But here, what I see is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Most of the people will be doing that thing just because they like it, and not because they need to do it. Because here, as it's a developed economy, I don't think so. They have this need to do it. That's what I have found around my thing. And the other thing is, what I see is that in India, it's more theoretical approach to things. So what
Mhm.
I always like, we also have a team in India back in Noida. And what I see when I talk to people here in Europe, and it's like our brain is more theoretical.
Ketan, if you as a tech person have to create a blueprint for students, right? So, students today face a mix of hope and a little bit of frustration because hope, because there is more opportunities than ever before, right?
Before.
And frustration because the competition is so high and sometimes it feels, the path is not very clear.
Mhm.
So, if you could design a simple career blueprint for a student entering tech space today, what would it look like? From mindset to networking to skill building, what's the playbook you wish like you had 10 years ago? What would you suggest to a student, your version of 21-year-old guy?
My recommendation would be to have a playbook, because most of the people, they have everything in the mind and they think they know everything and they remember everything and they will do it. I think everything should be very well documented. For example, today, what are the 5 skills that are going to be in the market for next 5 years? Please write it down. Please write it down, and for each of the skills, create your path. Because the way I like to study certain thing, a different person might not be able to like or be studied in the same manner, you know.
Also, you mentioned that skill building, learning like one basic language is
Yeah.
important. Of course, AI learning is important. The soft skill, business skill, communication, these things are extremely important, right? So I'm sure that you will include these skills also in a blueprint, right? And also, you mentioned networking.
Networking, yeah.
Yes, although I think for student it's more like reaching out to their alumni, talk to them, how the thing has been changed, uh, participate in like hackathons or different events, create their own projects, submit on to the HRs to review their projects and accordingly, they can show their skills, right? Showing off a little bit whatever you know is extremely important. Networking on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, and so adding to this, it can be when I say about this playbook and thing, it's also about to know how they should also, for example, there is a point in my playbook that how to network. Now I need to find those 5 ways. Okay, going to a hackathon, meeting alumni, asking my professors, going to like incubators and the stuff, like first of all, like as an individual, do I know there are how many ways and where I can network? So
Correct.
that if it's documented, like if you are disciplined enough, you will do all of those things and you will see which is the most effective of them all for yourself, for what you want to work in, because you don't know where the opportunity lies. It might be like, if you ask your professor, he was working in a certain company before becoming a professor, and he thinks that you are really a bright mind. He might suggest or he might, recommend, and you might be directly asked for an interview.
Correct. Correct.
Again, going back to the first playbook, if you are asked for interview, straight away, if you see the document, you know what you know and what you don't.
Right. Great piece of advice, Ketan. And I'm really thankful to you to sharing such practical, no fluff insights. I
Yeah.
think a lot of students listening right now are going to walk away with much clearer picture than before. And I'm sure they know how to prepare themselves now for the real world of tech and maybe even pack their bags for Paris one day and meet you in person.
Again, just last thing, be clear, be confident, be dedicated. Everything will come. Like, don't, I guess I just would like to say everyone, like, don't be afraid to take big decisions, because even it turns out wrong at the end, everything will be fine.
Just take the risk, right?
Take the,
Thank you so much, Ketan, for the wonderful session. And I'm sure students will be really happy to listen to this podcast, get a lot of clarity in their, cloudy or
yeah.
thoughts. And thank you once again. And we'll meet very soon in person.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor, and yeah, I hope it helps almost all the young minds in India, especially because I would love them to show them their full potential to the world. And I know that we have very bright minds in our country, and I'm really proud of it. Yeah.
So much. Thank you. Take
Thank,
care.
thank you. Take care. Bye
Bye.
bye.